Welcome to the Rise podcast. As you've seen that we've had a couple of amazing guests in the past. Today we have someone that is very dear to me. He's not only a spiritual leader, a Reiki healer, but also a very good friend of mine, Ayush Gupta. Ayush has been part of Rise, which you all have witnessed, and his ability to heal the room with just his presence. So Ayush, welcome to the Rise podcast. It's so good to have you here again.
Thank you so much, and very happy to come again with the name of Rice.
I appreciate it. When you first came onto Rise, it was an instant connection. We almost felt like a soul family, and I want to show the world the importance of understanding and recognizing people for their soul rather than just the egoic construct of what we believe people are. Ayush, out of a lot of things, you're mainly known for being the youngest celebrity Reiki healer, celebrity tarot reader, but you experienced your gifts at a very young age and you embraced them. Elegance, I would like for you to tell us a bit more about when you witnessed that gift.
See, before I go ahead with discussing about it, I believe these gifts are with everyone. Every single person have the power of healing themselves. Every single person have the power of healing others as well. So coming back to the question which you asked, how I was able to recognize these things and be aware about these things were at the age of 7. At the age of 7, of course, I was not the person who was very much aware about it, but my dad is a very spiritual and a religious person, I will say. So in India, generally there are satsangs, there are pujas, worship things mostly people do if they're religious. So at that time, my father used to say in any sort of satsang or puja or bhajan sandhya, like it's a kind of musical night, religious musical night. So my father used to say me, just don't repeat what they're singing. Just sit in a meditative posture and keep your eyes closed. That's it. So that was the time I was able to feel myself. And that was the point I was connected to meditation. And once you start meditating, I believe at any age of your life, you'll start realizing the hidden you of yourself. Because there's a story as well that the superior energies have, of course, the humans are created by that superior energy, and I believe there are different names of that superior energy. So when the humans were created, the humans were so smart, and as we all know how smart these humans are. So that superior energies thought that what is that way by which these humans are not going to catch me, because they are very smart. They can find me very easily. Even if I go to the depth of any mountain, whatever place in the whole world I go and hide, the humans are so smart, they are going to find me. So there was a message from another being around him that it's better go and hide within them, because that's the last place and maybe would not be a place where humans will search you. And that divine is within you. And once we start meditating, you start recognizing and start being aware about that divine which is inside you. So that was the point I started getting very much connected to the energies. And with time, I believe once you start meditation, you automatically get the path. You automatically get a direction. And what you want in your life, you get to know that. And before all these answers, you get to know who you are. The biggest questions of your life. So that was the time this journey started. And then at the age of 12, from the age of 7 to 12, I was just without any expectation, just because my dad said me to start meditation. And with time, I have started enjoying that, to be very honest. So it was a kind of a toy for me in my childhood. So meditation played that role as well in my life. And then the concept of Reiki came into the picture. Someone in a very small town, I'll just talk about the divine intervention as well. A very small town of India, which is very much separated with the topics, like it's very far from the topics of mental health, meditation. These people, like there was no such awareness at that small town. And in that small town at the age of 12, someone from Pune is in India, came to that small town. Again, there's a very long story behind it, so it will take a very long time to describe it. Of course, I guess I've told you that other than the podcast we are doing now. So, that topic of Reiki came into that small town. And then my dad was actually very much convinced about it and saw the results of my grandmaster, and he heard a lot about Reiki from him. And he told me to learn it. And that was the time I learned Reiki. And at the age of 12, I really, to be very honest, I don't want to sound that, oh, I knew this and I wanted to do this for people. That's why I learned Reiki. But it was just my dad is saying, and I'm liking the prospect of energies because of meditation. So I started doing Reiki as well. Did my self healing because my grandmaster told and because my dad told. And again, everything happens for a reason. So it was happening at that moment. So I learned Reiki, and after the 3 to 4 months approx, my mom was diagnosed with throat cancer. And that was the time, because in India, I don't know about other countries, but India in 2013 or 14, there was no such uh, things by which cancer could be cured. Again, there's chemotherapy or radiation therapy was one or two of the things which recently launched in India and which had not built it that kind of trust in people's mind. So cancer was a thing ki, okay, someone have the cancer, go and meet him, whether you are able to meet him, that person again or not. So it was that huge thing at that time. So not just one person have that cancer, but the whole family start feeling that cancer in them. So at that time, my grandmaster said, okay, you know Reiki, start doing it for her. But again, a 12-year kid cannot sit for 2 hours and do the session. So I used to activate Reiki and at night, and I used to keep my hands in her throat and used to sleep. So almost 6 to 7 hours, I used to do the healing at night. And after the 3 months of the Reiki process, the same doctors who have diagnosed it, they had said to my dad that, they say my dad Gupta ji. So his full name is Kashi Prasad Gupta. So generally they call them Gupta ji, and also they said, Gupta ji, don't come for this problem again in life, and don't ask us how this is healed. They just there was some ball-like structure because of that clot. They just took a syringe and took out the fluid and said, you can go from now and don't come for this again. That moment had realized me a lot of the things. And if I talk in the Bollywood language, that it had changed my life. It was a turning moment of my life. And after that, just outside the diagnosing center, me and my dad was having this conversation, and he had been a biggest support in my life, and especially in this spiritual journey. And I believe agar wo mujhe itna support nahi karte, then I was not able to be in this moment where I am right now. So he had said Reiki has cured it completely, because even like doctors don't know how it is cured. Then the thought hit my mind that if Reiki can heal such major problems, then there are different people who are facing minor problems and major problems. So why not be a medium and try to serve them? Because everyone in this whole world is here to serve humanity in their own ways. Be it the person who is in a call center, you are facing a problem, you'll call that company's call center at night as well. They'll pick up and heal your problem, solve your problem. That means that person have served you in different way. Same way you did it with Rise. You tried people to rise, not just materialistically, but spiritually. And we as a healer are serving. The police department is serving is in their own department, in their own ways. The employees, the employers, every single person is serving. So at that time I had decided this is my purpose and I have to do it, because I have seen different divine interventions related to it. And that was the time, and today's the time I'm here and devoted towards it.
When I hear stories like this, it gives me goosebumps, because we think that being spiritual has to only do with one aspect of being weird. I feel like we're all spiritual beings living a human experience, and everything we do, as you so rightly said, the police department, the police officers, they're basically healing society by making you feel safe. The way the UAE government has made people feel safe is in the way healing society. The UAE has gotten a lot of rep for not being very deep, new country, new place, but they have been so open to embracing different cultures, embracing different religions, and giving each of them an equal right to practice our faith. And that is healing in itself, where you see people from different cultures, different faiths coming together under one roof and, focusing on becoming the best version and connect to God, connect to divine, whatever we call it. In your journey, you experienced fame at a very young age, Ayush. For a lot of people, that is not something they can handle. What was the one thing that kept you grounded and humble as you are?
If you're aware that you're a spiritual being, then you know that you are not the one who is doing it. Then if I'm not the one who is doing it, so what sort of ego should I have? I'm just a servant, and that divine is the operator. The names of the divine can be different in your own religion, in your own culture, but the one common thing in all the religions and cultures, that there is one divine. There is one God. So see the common. So I'm the servant and he is the operator. He is the owner of me. So see, I agree, if you get something in your life, it comes with an ego. But when you surrender yourself to that superior, you know that you are not doing it. So that is my center thought of my life. So there's no point, to be very honest. Of course, I'm not saying that, okay, I'm above those things and XYZ. I don't want to flaunt in a way, okay, I'm sitting in a podcast, so I'm just gonna say those words. But again, there had been times, but I believe those times are also to make you ready, to make you realize few things. Okay, you came to a situation, you reacted in this way. Okay, so see the consequences of reacting in this way. Now you know, if you are reacting in this way, these are the consequences. Now try another way to react in that same situation. See, I believe it's 70 to 80 years, the average age of a human at the moment. In these 70, 80 years, try experience different things. Different things, I mean, don't just be in the loop of patterns. Okay, I'm doing this, so I'm going to do the same loop of patterns for the whole life. If someone is saying, start meditating, and you don't have that trust, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. But understand this, that you got 70 to 80 years approximately. Give that 3 months out of it to a meditation. You'll get to know whether it is right or wrong. Why you need anyone else's opinion in it? Try it, test it. If it is good, do it. If it is not, don't do it. So there are different situations in your life which is done by that superior energy as well only, I believe. So there were different situations in my life as well, where I realized that, okay, the best and the most glorious way to live life is by surrendering. And once you surrendering, again, coming back to the same thought that you are not doing anything. So that has been a most positive thought in my life, to not be into not play in the air. It's better be grounded and do those things.
When you said that, it's happening through you and you're being used as a tool by the divine to gift people with the healing powers that you do. You have not only healed your mother, you've actually come out into the open and spoken about that in public, where we live in a world where pharmacies and pharmaceuticals have always controlled the narrative of giving medications, which are actually drugs given to you, but in a legal way. Whereas what you and a lot of healers, we call, and what is a healer's job really? It's not to heal you. It's to show you that you have the healing abilities within you. It's about sharing the frequency that you vibrate on with them so that they feel healed or they can experience that. And I feel like, as you also mentioned about the story of when you were told about your gifts or were guided by the right people. I think we in daily life we manifest these guides but sometimes the ego, which also I call it stands for excluding God out, allows us to self-sabotage, not listen to the intuition, not listen to the little whisper within us, because we're so surrounded by the noise of the world. You look at the generation post you, and you are very young, you're in your early 20s and have so much wisdom, which is another thing for the audience to also know, that it doesn't matter how old someone is. If they're talking wisdom, it's because they've been through a journey in life at a very young age, which brought them to experience who they truly are, which is not the person that is the ego, because that's a personality, but what is above the ego, the higher self. Someone that is here to give the knowledge, not be a preacher, but also living that life for themselves and also sharing that knowledge with a lot of people. Now, going back to the fact that, in India, you're also known as a celebrity tarot reader. I love the fact how in India, everything, when it becomes celebrity related, it gets a little level of upliftment. But since I've met you, I didn't ever notice any celebrity type behavior. It was more about connecting with you on a very soul-based level, knowing that I was here to serve with Rise. You came into my vibration and we connected. And I know you're probably one of the only few people that even without knowing what Rise was going to be, was on board with the idea. You didn't care how many people would come to the event. You were still saying, go ahead with it. You knew exactly what I was dealing with the ups and downs of managing Rise, which is that journey to self-discovery. And I think that sometimes speaking the word of divine actually has its consequences amongst people, because a lot of people are living in their ego. And now when we look at the current age of people, they're quite lost. If you see what's happening online, if you see what's happening in the world, everything is an essence of one-upping the other person, not truly understanding that we are here to live harmoniously. It doesn't matter what country you're living in. If the world is going to shit, we all are going to suffer from it. We all are going to pay for the consequences. If something goes wrong in the US, the world gets affected. If something happens in India, the world gets affected. If something happens in the UAE, which is known as a safe haven for a lot of different countries, the world is going to be affected, right? So I feel like people connect spirituality with something magical and etheric, whilst religion, which is coming from a book, be it any religion, is considered to be the word of God. When we cannot conceptualize God, when we cannot conceptualize the divine, we know for a fact that we are created out of a single cell. And we also know that what we consider magic is basically something science hasn't discovered. But energy, Reiki, understanding the masculine, the feminine, the dark and the light, you're a master Reiki healer. Can you tell us a bit more about the roles each of these energies plays in our life?
Okay. See, I will initially start with what you have said, that without knowing what exactly is going to be in the event Rise and etc. and I joined. I remember we had a conversation before the event, I guess 10 to 15 days before. And you shared a few objectives of the event Rise, and we had a good discussion of 15 to 20 minutes, I believe. Rather than just looking and hearing into your words and everything, I felt that positivity, to be very honest, and the intentions. And I have said you this before as well. The intentions behind what you did was much more higher than other requirements what I need, what generally people look for, be it the number of people who are coming, be it how it is gonna be, the flow, etc., etc., etc. Your intention towards rising people. Rise was not just the name of that event. Rise was the intention in your mind to rise people spiritually. And that I was somehow realized when we had that conversation, because that essence in your voice I was able to see. So, and it was. It do not matters how many number of people were there or how was the show flow, etc., etc. But whoever was there have taken something that day. When they went and slept that night, they would have slept very calmly. They would have slept easily without any chaotic mind. And the morning they would have woke up after that day, they would have felt immense positivity. That was something you achieved. And actually, I'll say the credit goes to you, because bringing all the people, bringing all the services, bringing all the motivational talks, bringing all the healing things, they are not just Reiki, but there were different activities, I believe, 9D breath work and etc., 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 yoga and different things. There was a proper combination. And I believe when we had the conversation, there was not exactly a show flow which was planned, that this thing is going to be before, this thing is going to be like that. Of course, it was written. But the way it went with the flow was exactly it was supposed to be very honest. Before Reiki session, your physical body needs to be aligned. So there was a yoga session. To receive more positivity, receive more positive energies, vibrations, your breath should be in control. There was 9D breath work. It was just happening divinely, I will say. It was proper divine intervention that this flow is right. So we should go with this flow, and you also didn't know about it.
I had no idea.
And,
I had to surrender.
And we had the same conversation at the night of the event. Okay, this just happened. And with a very proper set. And yeah. And I believe whatever the number of people were there, and that's a for sure thing which I have observed, people have taken something. They didn't went empty-handed. That's for sure. It's not something I'm just saying it for just saying it. I really mean it. Also, coming back to the points of energy. See, when we talk about Reiki and when we talk about energies, if I'm able to see you right now, I'm able to see you as in this specific shape or body or XYZ because there is an observer. Otherwise, you are a wavy structure. I'm not saying this because of a spiritual book or a religious book. Go to quantum physics and read about it. You can see an atom when there's a observer. Otherwise, it's wavy in nature. If you're not looking at that camera, then that camera is actually waving. There was a research about this quantum physics topic about collective consciousness, collective observance. If a tree falls, does it really fall? If I'm not watching that tree falling, if I personally not watching, if any human is not there to watch that tree fall, then is it really falling? So there's collective consciousness as well. So everything is energy. Be it this mic, be it that camera, be it your body. And there are two energies, that is positive and negative. Everywhere these energies are there, the whole universe is made up of these two energies. When a person says, oh, I don't have any negative energy, then that is not a person. Because a person is made up of both the energies. If you have anger, for example, every single being have anger. But someone have less anger, someone has more anger. The same way, every single human or the location or the place contains positive and negative energies. Some places are high in negative energies. Some humans are dominated by negative energies. That's why you must be, and people must have observed this, for example, if they are meeting someone. And you would have also experienced this. If you're meeting someone, okay, that smile was very intense, but okay. If you're meeting a negative person, you would immediately have this thought in mind, oh, I just felt some negativity. I would not like to meet this person again. I didn't like the vibe. The so-called Gen Z's word vibe. The full form of vibe is vibrations. So the vibration, you felt negative. Then there would be some places, okay, I just entered this room. You asked, how's the energy? I really felt a very refreshing and positive energy in this specific room. But if, for example, you're going to some place and you are feeling, okay, there's heaviness, I'm not feeling that good. You will feel, every human being feels. Every single person who is watching this podcast must have observed this. So that is energy. A person faces problems when these negative energies increase, starts dominating your body, your environment, your aura, start dominating the 7 chakras of your body. So when these negative energies start dominating, you face specific 5 aspects of problems in your life. You specifically face 5 aspects of problems in your life: personal life, professional life, mental health, physical health, and the financial health. And you will notice this propaganda, I will use this word. If one aspect is imbalanced, everything is interconnected. Do you think if your mental health is not good, your personal life will be better?
No.
Do you think if your mental health is not good, your professional life would not suffer?
Of course it will.
Do you think if your mental health is not good, then it is, as you said, it is going to affect your professional life? If your professional life is not good, whether you will be earning, that means it will be affecting your financial health. Correct. Now leave the concept of mental health. Start with financial health. If your financial health is imbalanced, then what is going to be imbalanced? Mental health.
Correct.
Again, the same loop.
Correct.
If your personal health is imbalanced, it is definitely going to affect your mental health. Same vice versa. If your mental health is not good, it is going to affect your physical health. Everything is interconnected. So let's not focus on these aspects. See the root cause of it. And the root cause is the negative energies, the domination of these negative energies. Then Reiki comes into a picture. It's scientifically healing therapy, scientifically proven healing therapy. It has been proven through Kirlian photography. If you know, it's a aura reading camera. So whenever a person is there, that camera can click a picture of yours and read your aura with the colors and different things. So in Reiki, there are some symbols, which of course people might find in different search engines. But again, these are some confidential symbols, how to make it and everything. When it is made in a very proper way, with proper process, it has been found that in Kirlian photography, negative energies have been rippled out and positive energies has suddenly attracted that specific place. So whenever we intensely make those symbols on a person or in a place, those negative energies ripples out from that place or person and positive energies attract. Again, coming back to the square root, if the domination of negative energies are high, you will face the problem. Vice versa. If your positive energies are in domination, you will be happiest. And I believe being happy is the most important thing in life. If you are happy in your present moment, you are potentially making your future better from now. If you're thinking, okay, I need to make my future of next 6 months good, potentially tomorrow is also going to be a present moment for you. Maybe it is going to be a present moment tomorrow, but it is going to be a present moment only.
Living in the present moment is the way to be happy. Yes, of course.
Coming back to same sentence, see, this moment, not this as well. This moment. Not this as well.
Correct.
This moment. This also just went.
Correct.
This moment is not gonna come back for any single one.
Correct.
Not even for you, not even for me, not even for anyone. Not even the biggest leaders of the world, not even... I cannot name them anyone. Not for giving the example also, because no one is gonna get this moment back again.
100%. But we all want to live forever. We always want to plan and
Yeah.
and be familiar with
Just see the hypocrisy of a person. For example, if you have XYZ number of dirhams with you, take an example of 1 lakh dirham. It has been vanished. Somehow you just lost it. You will be the person. Of course, that person would get scared, get worried. Okay, how can I find it back? Blah, blah, blah. That person will get stressed out.
Correct.
Some might get stressed out for a moment. Some might get stressed out for a long time. Depends on person to person. So that is something which you might earn today, tomorrow, 1 hour later, a year later, you might earn it again. There's high possibility of earning it again, right? If you are getting worried about something which you might get back, then what about getting worried about wasting the moment which is not gonna come back, like never?
So well said, very well said. I think this is what even Eckhart Tolle talks about in his book, The Power of Now, where literally when you miss out today's or now for thinking about something in the future that may or may not happen, that's where you've lost the present moment. You've taken yourself out of that. You've brought yourself towards fear and anxiety rather than embracing the present moment. And RISE, as you know, is also an acronym, right? Where R is releasing what no longer serves, integrating the masculine and feminine, surrendering to the time of the universe, and emerging as your higher self. Now, when I created RISE, in all honesty, I was put through the test, because how the universe works with at least some people that are speaking their truth is it puts you to the test. So when I was doing RISE, I had to surrender throughout the process of not knowing how things will turn out, how things will pan out. We had this discussion.
I've seen you in that journey, and that I believe there would, if those situations, if those moments would have been occurred with someone else, I don't know what that person would have done, but I believe this event was not possible for that person. But the way you have executed, something which you are trying to teach people, you're actually feeling within you.
Going through that.
And
same
that's why going with the flow, and you did the event. Otherwise, I have seen and we have discussion that there were a lot of people who were not letting you do this. So I have seen you actually, and I actually appreciate you to do that event, because it is actually necessary. Because Dubai is definitely a very amazing city, and people are doing very well materialistically, and even the people here, the leaders here, are now very much active towards mental health as well.
Correct.
And that is the best part why I started liking Dubai, because now they're not just focusing on materialistic thing, but they're focusing on the spiritual aspect of life. And now that's why Dubai is very good for me.
Part and parcel of becoming a spiritual leader, I think you also had to understand and learn that there are 4 facets to our existence: the mental, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual. A lot of people don't like to talk about the spiritual side, and they feel like it's something, again, not something you can comprehend. But no one can comprehend God. No one can comprehend the universe. I've heard, and I'll tell you this, I can openly say this. I was approached by someone to also become a form of spiritual leader. But I was told that I can't speak my truth. And to me, the most spiritual thing I do is speak my truth. It comes from the heart frequency. It comes from the innocence of what it is a child goes through, but also having the wisdom that knowing that your words aren't hurting someone's, or they might hurt someone's ego, for sure, because the ego doesn't like the heart. It doesn't like it. Ego likes to control the situation because it believes in certainty. And I feel like with the problem with society as how it's become, that we are so attached to the phones, attached to what's next. They want to know tomorrow's news today. So famous because people wanted to know the future. But funny thing is, if you connect with yourself to that deep level, as you have done, you're just a channel. And I'm so grateful that you said the kind words that you said about me doing RISE, or if it wouldn't have been possible for someone else. It, as much as it sort of gives me an ego boost, I know that I was also a vessel through which this was meant to happen. Because it was about time. I had no idea what was going to happen, who was going to turn up. A lot of things I manifested. I literally spoke to God asking, like, why is this happening? Why am I facing so many obstacles? Please give me some support, some help. I may not have openly asked, but I actually, in my solitude, asked God for that. And then people like yourself came to the event as another messenger of God, as another messenger to tell me that I am on the right path of trying to do something. Because regardless of the level of awareness of people around me and the people that I was working with, I faced with challenges like, oh, you're very toxic, you're a smoker. I'm like, well, I'm a smoker, but I'm not trying to cause harm to people, right? I'm not perfect. I feel like the word perfect is an illusion. It should be removed from the dictionary because it's all about perception. It's all about what we feel good. We feel is this. Like, I may find you perfect, you may find the other person perfect because of your own perception. But the funny thing is, what we look in others and find good, isn't that something that we actually have within us? Aren't people just mirrors in our life? Aren't people just channels or guides? But the challenge is, a lot of people confuse the word manifestation with manipulation without people knowing what they're doing, right? And I feel like we are always manifesting and we're always speaking. So the positive energy of what we convey out is also manifestation. When we're in a negative thought process, that is also manifestation. But they say that a positive frequency is a lot stronger than a negative frequency. Yet, a lot of people that have experienced a level of spiritual growth and awareness, they realize that sometimes it's better for them to stay away from negative people. Because what it does is it drains the positivity out of them. It's like pouring water into a bottomless cup, right? Which doesn't fill because of the lack of awareness and understanding. What is your take on that? Because you have been mastering the art of energy, healing people. When it comes down to sometimes people manifesting you into their lives and them not respecting the wisdom that you bring, the gifts that you give, how do you deal with something like that?
See, I believe the biggest power you have is within you. In different religions, in different cultures, we get to hear that the divine is within you. The God is within you. In India, people say, Bhagwan aapke andar hai. In different religious books as well, it has been written ki you can find me here, you can find me in this specific section of your body, etc., etc., etc. Understand this. The whole universe is within you. Until and unless you are a good person, you can use that power with very basic rules of the life. Not harming people, being a good person, being a positive person, not saying bad words to people. Bad words, I mean not cursing words to people. And there are different other things about it. Of course, that's not the specific thing right now I was about to say. But you should understand this is the biggest power you have is your thoughts. You must be traveling in Dubai and you must be going through Sheikh Zayed Road and different parts of Dubai. You'll be seeing different windows of the buildings, right? Let's take an average of 2 people behind that window. Those 2 people might be in a relation of brother, sister, husband, wife, or whatever XYZ relation. But they have different thoughts, different perception. Whenever they look out of the same window, they are looking the world in their own eyes. Those 2 people are looking the world separately and differently. So within one window, there are 2 people who are looking the world differently. Same way, every person who is behind those windows are looking from that window the different world. So, and we as an observer, we cannot say them that your world is wrong or your world is wrong. So what's important is your perception. The perception you are carrying forward from your upbringing, from your childhood, then your adulthood, and whatever age you are in right now, you have a different perception because of your experiences. Perception builds opinion, and opinion comes from thoughts. So just understand which thing is right, this world is right, that world is right. Don't get into that. Get into the thoughts. Because thoughts are going to take you here and thoughts are going to take you here. I'll tell you a story. I've read somewhere about this story. It's not something which I have personally seen, but it's a genuine story. I've read through a very good source. A man whose daughter was suffering from a very huge disease, which was incurable as per the doctors. he manifested. I'll not use the word manifested, but subconsciously he was praying. Not praying to any god, but just praying. Just repeating that sentences. Just repeating that sentence so that his subconscious mind accepts it. Because subconscious mind is not gonna reason. Your conscious mind reasons. For example, consciously you have seen this camera. You might reason that, okay, this might be on, this might not be on. There would be some mic issues. There would be no mic issues. This is your conscious mind who is thinking. But once you give a message to subconscious mind, this camera is working. Your subconscious mind says, okay, it is working. There's no reasons with subconscious minds. So he was just praying that if my daughters get well, you can take one hand of mine. There was a day after 2-3 months, every day he was saying the same sentences. Make my daughter well, take one of my hand. He was continuously saying this for at least 2.5 months. There was a day he was coming towards the hospital and he met with an accident and he lost his arm. He didn't knew what happened. He didn't got any news from her about her daughter. Later on, once he was back to his conscious and everything, he got to know that her daughter is completely cured. And his one arm was gone. It's the thought. He must have said something else, manifested something else, made his subconscious mind accept something else. But what he said to his subconscious mind, which happened. So the main power you have is with you, is having right thought. If I will say this room is not good at the moment, when we entered, I would have said, okay, the energies are not so good. And you trusting on the words, okay, you know that I talk about energy, you have the trust in my words, your subconscious mind would have accepted. And this 1 hour which you were sitting here, you would be thinking about this, okay, the energy is not actually good. And actually you will not like the place from that moment. So it's not just about the energy of the place. It's about the thought which went in your subconscious mind and how fast you accepted that. So people should understand you have the power to do anything in life, achieve any single thing, be it materialistic, be it spiritually. When I say connect spiritually, I don't connect materialistically. If you want to go to a solitude and attend those 20 days of self-healing meditation alone in a mountain, then also you'll need some money. You'll need money to travel. You'll need money to stay there. You'll need some specific materialistic things as well. So at the moment, if people are listening to it, okay, be spiritual, and hearing our conversation, don't think in a way that you will compulsorily leave what you are doing in your life. You'll need to leave your money. You'll need to leave this, that, whatever you are surrounded with different things in life. It's not necessary to leave that. Do whatever you are doing. Just start meditating. Start connecting to yourself and then do those things and you'll see a massive difference and make your mindset positive. That's it, I will say.
Perfect. How can people learn to meditate? You mentioned this quite a lot in terms of if you could help the audience understand a bit more about what is your practice of meditation, because everyone has their own, right? But you speak about it, you preach it, you do it, it's visible. Wherever I've spoken to you, you always keep smiling. I'm sure that you go through your own ups and downs, but you're very stoic in the way you carry yourself. Like I said, it's important to understand that age is just a number in these things. It's got nothing to do with that, because I've met people triple your age, maybe quadruple your age, that when they don't get their way, they turn into children. But that's because of the level of awareness. It's because of the healing that wasn't done within themselves. So could you explain a bit more about your practice and what works for you that is very easy for people to adapt and could be like a few minutes a day? So how would that be? What would that be?
See, when we talk about meditation, there are different ways of meditation. People preach, people talk, and there are different courses, etc., etc. Do this third eye meditation. Not saying any practice wrong. But let's take an example of Dubai. When Burj Khalifa was being constructed, it was it has taken much number of days, months, and years to build the roots of it. There was a all there was a vision, but they have made the root strong. The foundation. They have digged a hole, then the concrete, the rods, and everything was there, so that that specific place holds the weight of Burj Khalifa. And I believe the process of that groundwork has taken longer than the process of the construction of the thing which is visible right now. Exactly. There's no wrong in doing XYZ ways of practices of meditation, but you'll need to know that roots need to be strong. Otherwise, there are different people who are facing issue of pain in third eye because they have started a practice directly. So it's better to start the meditation from the root, and the power within you which you have is of your breath. It starts your life, it ends your life. A thing which is so important. So you should know the importance of this. So just sit in a meditation posture, straight, make your spine straight, and focus on the breathing. Again, when it comes to breathing, there are different people, and I will say almost 60 to 70% of people are breathing in a wrong way. Let's try. I'll not say you are doing it because anyway you are connected to the practices, but the people who are watching can just take a breathe in and breathe out. Do it. Hold the video. I am not going to stop. Hold the video. Try that. What is the pattern of breathing? And now listen this. When you are breathing in, your stomach should come out.
The diaphragm, yes.
Yeah, your stomach should come out. You need to breathe in from your nose. When you are breathing out, you need to breathe out from your mouth, and stomach should go in. This is the right way of breathing. And I'm sure almost 60 to 70% of people who are watching have realized they're breathing in a wrong way.
I would actually say that number is a lot higher.
Yeah.
This correlates to one thing, and I'm going a bit off topic, but it's important that people understand this. A lot of things that we do in our lives is based on our mindset, lack or abundance. There is an abundance of oxygen in this world that we can breathe in. Yet the programming is where we breathe only to survive. So thus people live in a survival frequency, which is a lack mindset. I need breathing to survive. Now, when you go back to olden times, and when you go back to times where even you go to places in the world, in India, to meditate, to be at peace, do you notice that when you're living in the city, when you're living around so much noise, electronic, this and that, breathing becomes harder because we're so distracted to not connect with ourselves. Back in caveman days, the only time they breathe the way we breathe throughout our day is when they went to hunt, because they were constantly having to look around behind their shoulder, or to see what's about to attack me. Here, because we are so stuck in the electronic devices, in what's happening on Instagram, what's happening in the news, oh no, everything is coming down to whatever. When you become the observer, change your mode instead of changing your mood. Mood will automatically do its job. You experience that there is actually a lot of abundance. And when you start practicing to breathe from the diaphragm, fully and wholly, that's when you realize that in itself, you as the observer are meditating. Because you become the observer, you're no longer in the head.
You are only the observer.
Correct. The triune being.
You can just be observed. Nothing is in your hand. And meditation will actually make you conscious about it. Don't listen to us. Again, I'll say. Don't listen to us, okay, this person is saying that's why it would have been true. Try it, test it, and experience it. If you like it, continue. If you don't like it, continue what you are doing. That's all I will say, because see, I don't want people to have a pressured mind and start. But yeah, see, it's just 70, 80, 90 years, 100 years you are going to live. Experience. And be with the experience you are liking. Be with the experience which is taking more closer to yourself. And from my side, meditation is the best way towards it. And you'll love it. There's one golden deer in Ramayana, for which Sri Ramji went to find it, and there's a huge story on that. In Kali Yuga, in this specific time, as per the religion, let's talk just about this time. There is one deer which is named Kasturi Mrig. Mrig means deer. And there's a name of that Mrig, that is Kasturi Mrig. That deer contains musk in its abdomen. And that's a huge amount of musk, can create a number of bottles of perfumes. Throughout the life of that deer finds from where this smell is coming. He actually roam around the whole forest, lakes, ponds, every single place. He's not able to find from where that smell is coming. And he is actually worried. How will I know the source of this beautiful smell? At the end, he comes to know that it's within him. The same way the humans are. Don't find the happiness externally. Don't find the beauty of life. Don't find the essence of your life in the external world. The essence, the beauty, the glory, you can sense from my face that what I'm trying to explain. That specific happiness which you're trying to seek from XYZ things is actually within you. You just need to find it. Otherwise, there are just fears around. If you are wishing for, having wishes is not wrong, but indulging in too specific fear is very wrong. First is, if this wish is not fulfilled, then what will happen? Second is, if this wish is fulfilled, then what if I lose it? A person wishes for a Jaguar car. That person gets that Jaguar car. He's very happy. Oh, my wish is fulfilled. The next day, he have another wish. Okay, he's trying. Then he is going somewhere from his own Jaguar, which he got 3 days back, and he was happiest in that moment. And he got to know, oh, that wish which I thought yesterday is not gonna fulfill. That person is crying in the same Jaguar
that he wished to have.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. I know when we look at our lives, and I'm going to obviously cut this very short because you've already shared amazing trinkets of wisdom. When we just take a pause, which I think what meditation is, because life is a journey, it's not a race, whilst we live in a rat race, which is man-made. When you realize that you're living a journey, there are times where you take a pause, you can seriously go back to all the good decisions that you made as well. Improve that self-talk that we've been having within ourselves, that there is something special within all of us, right? Some of us had the pleasure to experience it, and we want the world to see that, because we look at what's happening around in the world. When you look at the news, news is what? A cycle of fear and anxiety. What happened, what is about to happen, and getting stuck in that loop. When people disconnect from that, and then they start to notice, actually, life isn't that bad. Yes, things are coming crashing down, but I'm still an observer. If I have to take action, I will do so. But it won't come out of an impulse. It will come out of a very soft voice within us to say, okay, we have to do this. It's time. We're following now guidance rather than trying to control the way things are. And I think personally in my journey also it has been that. No matter how much I used to be able to control things, as much as I'm intellectual, my path was different. And I feel like from hosting Rise to now hosting this podcast is part of that path. And eventually, if something is meant to happen from it, it will do, right? Because it's all about giving that message out to people that the world that we seek outside of us is actually within. So within, as within, so without. So coming on to that, Rise has been a journey of self-discovery. As you heard from one of our amazing spiritual leaders and guests at the event, that it's all about understanding who you are. You don't need to seek your power outside of you. It's all there within. But you don't have to take it from anywhere else. It's there within you. You are generating energy, and you are the one in control of where that energy goes. So on that note, Ayush, I look forward to seeing you at the next Rise. We're going to do some amazing things together outside of Rise as well, because I feel like you're a light worker, you're a divine messenger. You have guided so many people. You've helped a lot of people that are not able to afford your services. You have, and I'm happy to say this out to the public as well. When I was hosting Rise, my mother was going through a stroke, and Ayush so kindly just decided to help, just out of the goodness of his heart. And I really appreciate everything that you do, everything you stand for. And I'm sure the audience can't wait to see you at the next one. So thank you so much, and God bless.
Keep smiling.
Keep smiling. Exactly.